Hey, welcome back, college football crazies and Rocky Top rowdies. I got another good show lined up for you today. We're going to start out with our countdown. We're counting down till the season starts every day. 52 days. That's what, a little over a month and a half. We've almost made it there. I know y'all are excited. I'm excited. Can't wait for media days to kick off. Can't wait for fall camp. Get all the intel. Make for some longer shows, more teams. I'm ready to get that going. Thank y'all for watching. I'll go ahead and remind you early. I'll remind you all throughout, like I always do. Like, subscribe, share. Like I said, I don't care if you gotta tell your grannies, your grandpas, your cousin, your long lost brother, whatever you gotta do. If you gotta steal their phone, get on there and like and subscribe for them. Do what you gotta do for me. I don't condone it, but I won't fault you for it either. All right, let's get this thing kicked off here. We got this top 10 coaching list I want to pull up here. How you can make a top 10 coaches list and leave out Josh Heupel is beyond me. Let me take his banner down for a second so y'all can see the bottom. Kurt Cignetti's number 10. I'll pull it back up. That way y'all can see when I start talking about it, you'll know who it is. Number 1, Kirby Smart. You're not going to get no argument from me on that. The man's wins. Right now, since Saban retired, it's really not even debatable. Kirby's definitely number 1. One I do have a problem with already, I know. Number 2 on the list, Ryan Day. Yeah, they kicked their ass. I ain't gonna lie about it. But before they kicked their ass, they lost to Michigan as 20-point favorites. Ohio State fans is calling for his head, just like they have been the last 3 or 4 years. Then he goes on a magical run and wins the title, and automatically he's number 2 coach in the country. I don't agree with that, but when I think of who I'd put ahead of him, there's not many. He's definitely, I'd give him top 5, even though it's mostly because the talent he has. I think when it comes down to him having to out X and O people, he's not that good at it. That he out talents everybody. So I'd say I'd probably have a couple spots down, but I'd give him top 5 just based off his record alone. But I wouldn't put him at 2 until he beats Michigan. Number 3, we got Dabo Swinney. If this list was made 5 years ago, I'd have Swinney in top 3, probably maybe 2. Gordon, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, and Dabo. Dabo would probably been ahead of Kirby 5 years ago. But I mean, Clemson went 9-3, 10-4 last year, something like that. 10-4, I'm pretty sure. So they won the ACC title, and then they lost in the playoff. So 10-4 in the year 4, no playoffs. The year before that, we beat them in the Orange Bowl. Dabo is a good coach. Main thing with him, if he don't make a run this year, he's probably not going to. He's got a lot of players back. He actually didn't lose a lot of players to the portal. He don't use the portal. And I think that's going to end up being his downfall, is the fact that he don't use the portal. In this day and age, you kind of have to use the portal. If you miss on some recruits, you can replace them for a year or 2 till you get another guy in from high school. Some coaches use the portal all the way through. I mean, some coaches Don't even hardly recruit high school. They just use the portal. Sweeney's complete opposite. He recruits high school, no portal. Me personally, I like the way Heupel does them. He takes most of his guys out of high school. That way he can get them in there and develop them into what he wants them to be. He just plugs a few holes through the portal. Sweeney, I'd still have top 10, but 3, I'm not too sure about that. Number 4, we got Dan Lanning. That's another one. Dan Lanning is a hell of a coach. What he's done at Oregon has been good. He's lucky. He's up there in Oregon. The owner of Nike is an Oregon man. He donates a bunch of money to their NIL. So he's kind of up there with Texas on limitless money, buy recruits. I mean, he's a good coach. He gets recruits regardless, but they get who they want most of the time too, because they will offer a bigger bag. Because Phil Knight, the owner of Nike, said he wants to see Oregon win a title before he dies, so he's willing to pay up for it. Guess I really ain't got much of a problem with Lanning at 4. I'd maybe have him 5, 6 range. Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame at 5. I'd have him somewhere closer to 9 or 10. Yeah, they had a good season last year, but they still lost to Northern Illinois. And the year before that, he's had one really good year, and his other ones are kind of iffy, especially when you get to play the schedule Notre Dame plays. I'd love for Tennessee to get to play that schedule, a little mix of Big Ten and ACC teams. And then maybe one SEC team every year. I think they got A&M again this year. So Notre Dame, he is a good coach. He's young. But I think that's a little high for him. Like I said, I'd probably have him about the 8 or 9 range if it was me. 6, Sarkisian from Texas. I'd have him top 10. That I'd probably have him a couple spots lower, personally. Well, I'd probably have him right at 6. I think he's rated about right. He turned Texas back around, which they've needed. They've been down for a while, kind of like we was. One thing he's got going for him is that Texas oil money. They load up the Lamborghinis when the daggone recruits come. They throw bags at them. Luckily, relationships are starting to be the difference again. We just beat them out for the linebacker yesterday, Braden Rouse. Huge win for Heupel. Texas told him that they thought he was the best linebacker in the class. So that's a huge win for Heupel. But I can't argue with Sark at 6. He's turned Texas around. He's had them in the playoff 2 years in a row. Not much complaining there. Kalen DeBoer, Alabama 7. I think that's high. I wouldn't even have him in my top 10 right now. Yeah, he had some good seasons at Washington. Actually took him to a national title game. I think it was kind of luck of the draw. And Penix was a hell of a quarterback that he actually got from Indiana. We played him when he was at Indiana when Cornbread was here. If you don't know who Cornbread is, that's Pruitt, the Chick-fil-A bag man. And he just stayed hurt at Indiana, and he transferred to Washington, stayed healthy. Now he was first-round pick with the Falcons a couple years ago. For DeBoer's first season at Bama, for all the talent he had, I think it was a failure, 9-4. Alabama fans ain't happy with him. If he does anything less than 10-2 regular season this year, they'll probably start calling for his head, because them fans down there in Tuscaloosa are a spoiled bunch because they had Saban for so many years. They will not stand for missing the playoff 2 years in a row. There's no possible way, especially that roster is still talented. As much as I hate to say it, they're killing it in recruiting still, which I think that's still kind of the Nick Saban effect rolling over. If he has another down year, we'll see if he keeps recruiting like that. James Franklin at 8. I'd have James Franklin in top 10 for sure. I'm more impressed with what Franklin did at Vandy than I am with what he's done at Penn State so far. Penn State, it's the same thing every year. They beat all the scrubs in the Big Ten. When they had to play the big dogs, they lose. They play Ohio State, Michigan, they lose. Or now Oregon's in there, so Oregon's in that group. They beat up on the low schools like Northwestern, all them. And then when they play one of the big dogs, they lose. So they're always about 10-2, 9-3. 12-team playoff is a huge thing for Franklin because it can say he's going to make the playoff basically every year with this format now. Brian Kelly at 9, absolutely not. He shouldn't be top 10. It's crazy that he is. I mean, he's at LSU. They got all talent in the world, top 10, top 5 recruiting classes every year. He went 9-3 with the Heisman winning quarterback. He lost his first game of the year 3 years in a row, I'm pretty sure. Last year, USC. Year before, Florida State. And we went down there and whooped him Heupel's second year in Baton Rouge. He's yet to make a playoff. He's yet to win 10 games. And when he was at Notre Dame, he did make a title game. But like I said, with the schedule Notre Dame plays, that was BCS. That wasn't playoff. Once playoffs started, every time they made the playoffs, they got their ass whooped. No matter whoever they played, whooped their ass. Because they get to make their own schedule. They're too scared to join the conference. So they get to play Air Force and Navy and Northwestern and these guys and just add 1 or 2 good schools a year. So, of course, you're going to go 9-3, 10-2 every year. Brian Kelly, no way, top 10. I might not even have him top 15. He has benefited from being at Notre Dame, and now that he's coaching in the SEC, he's got a little dose of reality. And number 10, Kurt Signetti, Indiana. What he did in Indiana last year was a hell of a coaching job. Between 10, 11 games in Indiana, that's insane. But he's done it 1 year. How many times have coaches went somewhere, they have a great first year, and then they fall off and they're never the same? If he does it again this year, should he be on top 10? Absolutely. But you cannot put a coach in top 10 after 1 year. Yeah, he's good at James Madison too. That don't always translate. I'm anxious to see what he does this year. Because like I said, what he did at Indiana last year was an absolute miracle. But he also had one of the top 3 easiest Big Ten schedules. He avoided Oregon. He avoided USC. He played Ohio State. He didn't play Penn State. So would they have won 10, 11 games last year if they had a harder schedule? Probably not. So I guess he kind of benefited from the Brian Kelly, Marcus Freeman thing, getting an easy schedule. The one coach that's missing, and I'm a Vol fan, but you ain't got to be a Vol fan to agree that Heupel should be in the top 10. I'd put him probably 7 or 8. That's me being unbiased, I think. He's took over a program, lost 37 players. He was 22 scholarships short his first year. Still won 7 games, and the next year he went 11-2, and we went 9-4, and 10-3 last year. I mean, it don't get much better than that for the first 4 years after taking over while Heupel took over. If he took over a program that was already built, didn't lose all them players, then you could argue they might not be top 10, but I absolutely think he's top 10. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this list right here in the comments section. Y'all might disagree with me. If you do, that's fine. Comment. We'll argue about it. That's what makes this stuff so great. We're not all going to agree on everything. I just want to go over that list, tell you what I thought about it. Now we're going to move on to recruiting news. We got a commit today from Joel Combe, 6'1", 192. Safety from Georgia. Yes, he's a 3-star, 88 So he's pretty close to that line of a 4-star. But we did take him over a 4-star in-state kid, Craig Tutt. So obviously the coaching staff thinks very highly of this kid if they took him over a 4-star in-state kid. He's athletic. He's rangy. I think he's probably an underrated kid if the coaches took him over the in-state kid that's a 91 4-star. Let's see what they instinctive safety, who plays with range, single high looks, can rally to the football. Estimated to hover around 6'1", 190, frame athleticism, not being verified in third-party combine, but owns track and field multi-sport highlighted by 42.4 PR in the triple jump. I'm going to guess that's good. Don't know much about track and field. Playmaker at the catch point on both sides of the ball, who will make a high degree of difficulty snags at the top of the ladder. Which means he can go up and get the ball in single coverage. Smooth in his back pedal with the ability to quickly flip the hips and explode in any direction, will bait quarterbacks into throws as zone defender and promptly dart into passing lanes. Displays plenty of promise defending the run and first level passes. Takes proper angles. Should be viewed as a power forward caliber safety prospect who could develop into an impact starter on Saturdays. Basically, that sounds like a 4-star prospect to me. Like I said, until Heupel has a down year, I'm going to trust his evaluations. Sorry for the bad lighting in here. I was going with the sunlight, and it seems to be disappearing on me here. Sorry about that. Some more recruit news I want to cover. JB Shabazz. His rankings, according to what sites you look at, are absolutely vary. His industry ranking, which means all the sites together, is 352 nationally, 4-star, right at 90. But if you look on 3, which is the one I look at the most, he's a top 60 player in the country. Look for him to commit Friday. If he does, I'll cover it. If he don't, I'll cover it. I think we got a crystal ball prediction or a Fong bomb. So look out for him. Be a huge get. We got a pretty damn good haul and offensive line already. That'd be 3 years in a row if we can land this kid and one more that we had a top 5 offensive line class, which is huge for our run game and passing game. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, top 60 guy on 3. It's crazy how these recruiting sites will vary so much on kids, which tells you it's kind of a guessing game. But let's see who's in on this kid. It's Tennessee, South Carolina, Ohio State, Penn State. That tells you what you need to know about the kid right there. That's 3 big dogs. South Carolina's not quite a big dog, but damn, they're close. I hope they don't, because I can't stand Shane Beamer. They had a damn good year last year. Ohio State just won a national title. Penn State's predicted to be in the title hunt this year and was last year. When you're beating out those guys for a recruit, you're doing something right. North Carolina's on there too. Bill Belichick just took over there. We'll see what he does. I'm kind of in the camp that he's an overrated coach. I know that's crazy for somebody that's got so many Super Bowl rings, but he also had Tom Brady, and look what he did without Tom Brady. That's a song for another time. And the last recruiting news I want to cover here, Tristan Keys. I've talked about him a couple times. Number 1 receiver in the country, number 4 player overall. Committed to LSU from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It's looking like the Vols are going to flip this kid, y'all. It really is. I think we're going to. I don't know when it'll be, but we're really trending here. He's friends with Faison Brandon, their quarterback commit, number 1 player in the country on one side, number 1 quarterback in the country coming out of high school. This would be huge. If we land him, we're looking at possibly a top 5 class, and that's the only thing Heupel hasn't done since he's been here, is have a top 5 class. We can get him and land Savion Hyder, number 1 running back in the country. It's between us and Michigan. this class could be the one that takes Tennessee over the hump and really puts us in the national title contention. We're already there, but this would put us up there in the elite level. And if we get a top 5 class, it could just keep rolling top 5 after top 5. Like I said, relationships are starting to matter more again, and that's going to favor us. Heupel knows how to relate to the players. He is a player himself, an underrated player. Had to go JUCO, then go to Oklahoma. He knows the struggle. He knows the grind. He can relate to the players. If we land Tristan Keys, the ceiling goes up on this recruiting class. Even if we don't, it can be a damn good recruiting class. If we land him, it can be a great one. And let's see. I'm pretty sure that's all I have to cover today. This is kind of a longer video. I'm going to try to start recording some longer ones for y'all, just according to what kind of news there is that day. And like I said, I'm sorry about the lighting. When I first started, it was sunshine stuff in here. I should have went in the room. I had more light. Sorry. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. I'll be back tomorrow with another one. Hope y'all think these are bangers. If you don't, tell me what I could do to make a better viewing experience for you. Tell me what you think about my rankings, what you think about recruiting. Get in the comments. Tell me what you'd like to see. I'm down for whatever. Whatever makes y'all happy and helps me grow this channel. And as always, we're going to end this thing. Hold on. I got a call. Hold on. Yeah, who is this? Oh, hey, Heupel. You want me to tell the folks that the recruiting train's rolling? That they need to get on the hype train? Whoop, whoop. Hey, I'll let them know. Thanks for calling, Coach. Y'all know I'm just acting dumb. But you better get on the hype train because it is rolling down the tracks and you're either going to get ran over or you're going to hop on board. And as always, yo, Vols, hope y'all enjoyed the episode. See you next time.